All right, today we are jumping into a story that is just packed with high stakes political drama, some serious family rivalry, and a last minute power play that literally decided the fate of a kingdom. This is all about a succession crisis in ancient Israel. It's a thrilling account of how one prince got crowned while his brother was off feasting, totally clueless that his big ambition was about to just completely collapse. So let's set the stage here because the situation is tense. You've got the legendary King David, he's old, he's frail, and his court, it's totally fractured. Meanwhile, one of his sons, this really ambitious guy named Adonijah, has decided, hey, I'm not waiting for my dad to die, and he's already making moves to grab the throne for himself. I mean, the future of the entire nation is hanging in the balance. And it all kicks off with a promise. You see, a crisis is about to force the old king's hand, and David has to make a choice, and he has to make it right now. So right at this critical moment, King David's wife, Bathsheba, comes to him, and she reminds him of this sacred oath he made to her a long time ago. And David, he doesn't even hesitate. He doubles down, reaffirms his promise with another oath, and declares that this very day, her son Solomon will be his successor. He will sit on the throne. This is the exact moment the tables officially start to turn. But an oath spoken behind closed doors isn't going to be enough to stop a coup. David knows this. He knows he has to act publicly to make his decision an undeniable, unavoidable reality. He needs to turn his word into a massive public spectacle that no one can ignore. And David's commands are incredibly precise. I mean, this isn't some vague wish. It's a detailed 6-step royal decree that he gives to his most loyal officials. Every single step is just packed with symbolism. It's a strategic masterstroke, really, designed to signal an official, irreversible transfer of power and get the people behind his chosen son before a civil war can even get started. So the plan gets put into action, and it's all about powerful symbols, like riding the king's personal mule. That's something only the chosen successor could do. It's a huge deal. And he's escorted by the top religious and military leaders, Zadok, Nathan, and he's anointed with holy oil from the sacred tent. This whole thing seals it as a divine appointment. This isn't some backroom deal. It's a full-blown state coronation happening right out in the open. And the public reaction, it's immediate and just overwhelming. The text actually says that the people rejoiced so loudly that the ground shook with the sound. Can you just imagine that? The noise of trumpets blaring, pipes playing, and thousands of people shouting, "Long live King Solomon." The entire city just erupts in a massive celebration. Okay. But while this huge party is taking over the city, a very, very different scene is playing out not too far away. A scene of, blissful and ultimately fatal ignorance. And that brings us to Adonijah, David's other son. He is completely convinced the throne is his for the taking. So what does he do? He gathers his own powerful supporters. We're talking the army commander Joab and others, and he's throwing what he thinks is his own coronation banquet. The guy has absolutely no idea what is actually happening back in the city. And this is it. This is the moment where our two parallel stories are about to smash into each other. The sound of one coronation is about to crash the party of another. So just as Adonijah's feast is wrapping up, the sound starts to carry over the hill. It's the unmistakable sound of trumpets and the whole city cheering. And Joab, the veteran military commander, he hears it and he instantly knows something is very, very wrong. That joyous sound from Solomon's legitimate celebration, it becomes the first terrifying sign that Adonijah's whole plan is failing. And this really just brings the contrast into sharp focus, doesn't it? On one side, you have Solomon. He was appointed by the king, anointed by the high priest, and celebrated by all the people. It's totally official, totally legit. And on the other side, Adonijah, self-appointed, holding a private feast with his buddies and completely out of the loop. It's just a stark difference between real authority and a failed power grab. Right as the confusion is starting to set in, a messenger arrives. It's Jonathan, the son of the priest. And Adonijah, still totally clueless, he welcomes him, saying something like, "Come on in, you're a good man, you must be bringing good news." Oh, man, he could not be more wrong. And this is the report that just shatters Adonijah's entire world. Jonathan lays it all out, point by devastating point. King David has made Solomon king. The official anointing, it already happened. That noise they hear, that's the entire city celebrating. And then, the final nail in the coffin, Solomon has already taken his seat on the royal throne. It's done. It's over. Well, the party is officially over, and for Adonijah, the game is up. His next move isn't about gaining power anymore, it's about staying alive. The reaction is just instantaneous. Adonijah's guests, they jump up in alarm and they scatter, abandoning him immediately. Can you picture that? And Adonijah, terrified for his life, doesn't even try to fight. He runs straight to the most sacred place he can think of and desperately clings to the horns of the altar. Now, that might seem like a really strange move to us, but this act had a very specific and very desperate meaning.
Okay, so this is a really crucial piece of context. The horns of the altar were basically a place of sanctuary. By grabbing onto them, Adonijah was making a public, nonviolent plea for his life. He was essentially putting himself under God's protection and begging the new king not to execute him for treason.
And this sets up the final showdown and the very first test of King Solomon's rule. What is he going to do with his defeated, treasonous brother? So word gets back to the newly crowned Solomon. Adonijah, who's still clinging to the altar, sends a message begging for a sworn oath that his life will be spared. All eyes are now on the new king. How's he going to respond to this plea from the guy who just tried to steal his throne? Solomon's response here is incredibly shrewd. It's not a simple yes or no. Instead, he offers Adonijah a conditional pardon. He says, look, if Adonijah proves himself worthy, which basically means loyal, he'll be completely safe. Not a hair on his head will be touched. But if any evil is found in him down the road, he will die. It's a brilliant political move, right? Solomon looks merciful to the public, but privately he's just put his rival on a very, very short leash, making it crystal clear who holds all the power. So Adonijah is brought down from the altar. He comes before Solomon and bows down low, a clear public act of submission, acknowledging his brother as the one true king. And for now, Solomon shows mercy and simply sends him home. The immediate crisis is over, all without any bloodshed. And that brings us to our final thought. In his very first act as king, Solomon chose mercy over immediate revenge. But was this a demonstration of confident strength, showing that he was above all that? Or was it a calculated risk, leaving a known rival alive who could potentially cause trouble later? It's a question that leaders have faced for thousands of years, and it's a powerful note to end this incredible story of a transfer of power.